Now, I want to take a look at who else we have. The Avarian Alliance have quietly been chugging along here. And I think we should take a peek. Now, they have a rather odd backstory to them. Let's just take a look at what their empire looks like first. They are xenophobes, they are militarists, and they are spiritualists. They are definitely the odd ones out. These are our German folk. They are our German-speaking stream. And we will be hearing, I think, very little from them, but I think that's okay, especially given their backstory, if I may.
Yes.
While the Empire stretched to the tips of the galaxy, the majority of stars remained inaccessible simply because there were no hyperlanes leading to them, and the sentient races on these disconnected stars were often left to peer out at the galaxy and wonder at the signs of the Empire. However, as... I'm sorry, the general chat.
I see that.
He's embracing his inner Skeletor. However, as this cordoned-off race looked out and noticed the signs of great megastructures being built, rather than simply accepting them, their scientists began to wonder at their feasibility. One popular line of thinking stated that all of it was, for lack of a better term, baloney. No matter the direction from which they approached the problem, the signs were obvious. They were in a simulation, one that could theoretically be run on a personal quantum workstation. With this divined, the only option was to make the simulation so entertaining that it would never be turned off. When the hyperlanes grew taut once again, their weave had changed shape, and as it so happened, the weave included the star of this race's home planet. Taking this as a sign that their elaborate death games had been seen favorably, the race sought to take their games to the next level, with all the grace and poise of a monster truck rally.
So, I would like to talk about that message that we saw.
Yes.
I believe the reason why they made that message is because you'll see that they have created a federation named Masters of the Universe with the Imperial Chocolatiers.
It's a little bit early because there are 2 envoys assigned to it, but they're still losing cohesion.
Taking a look at the Imperium, they have a planet called the Slime Pit, which has 73% crime rate. Their stability is actually falling dangerously low.
That was the one that they conquered. That was the primitive civilization. Remember how you were talking about, like, there would be a problem? You figured, yeah, he had it under control.
Right.
The problem is that the humans, I believe, have continental preference, but it's a tundra world, so getting humans onto that planet isn't necessarily something they want to do. In fact, there is only one human administrator. I would plunk another human down there.
If he can afford to move another population, I would absolutely do the same, especially at least to get up to the Enforcer. Having the crime rate that high can cause quite a few problems in the future. Granted, they're not as immediate as the amenities issue. The amenities issue will cause you potential open rebellions, which is more important, in my opinion, than the crime. But the crime is, I mean, he's got 2 problems to contend with here, and he has not moved anybody else over to this planet.
If you would do me a favor, Simas, just kind of keep an eye on that, if you would be so kind.
Okay.
Like, not perpetually, obviously, just every so often, give it a peek.
I will stay here for the rest of the game.
I'm very curious about what these primitives will do. Because they've just been brought into the fold of the Empire. Can the Empire bring a new race into the fold so early on? What about some of the others? We talked a lot about the Refuge early on. And this is, of course, the Yogscast. I am curious how soon they are going to go after the Aramathi Friendship Committee. Because what does their fleet look like? They're still only on 55. They're not thinking about it right now. And what is this? Arrakis 3. Well, apparently the Fremen were able to see their dreams brought to light because Arrakis 3 is not a desert world. It is a continental world. They did it. You guys, the wind traps worked.
The wind traps worked, and they are their own empire.
Oh.
Were they uplifted?
That's what I am wondering. I'm trying to figure out. They're unemployed, free at last. So they were freed terror victims. I think that they were uplifted. Yeah. So I mean, we can figure this out really easily. Click, boop. Suspicious. No, maybe not. Did they naturally just come up? No, they got... Okay, so they got conquered. They might have gotten conquered by the Aramathi Friendship Committee. And then they rebelled. It's just so odd to see that happen so early in the game. That's why I'm a little bit perplexed. But hey, okay. It certainly makes things a little interesting.
Actually, let's see here. Let's see where we can find... Oh, no, we can't. They would have already been gone.
I would just like to point out that the Galactic Community has been formed.
The Galactic Community hasn't been formed.
Yeah, it has.
and Stefan is
like 100 days.
Yeah, not for long.
The first Senate is in fact in session. What is the first resolution?
The first resolution is regulatory facilitation.
Okay. I think as it's the first one, it would be sensible to bring everyone together. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the first ever gathering of the Galactic Council Community. Yes, not Council, Community. I can word. And so, everybody, we are going to be discussing and voting in this first historic session on the matter of regulatory facilitation. How very exciting, right?
I must say, the current resolution is meaningless to us. This entire community is illegal. There can be only one power to dictate the fate of the galaxy, and that is us, so please, vote what you will. It will not matter.
I like them.
Those are the humans. Those are the humans.
Indeed. Already the chocolate people have joined us in a great federation that will one day subsume this entire community. So yeah, sure, let's vote for it for now, I suppose. But it's all fleeting. Like your freedoms and sovereignty, you will join us or perish!
The Imperial Chocolate Covenant fully supports the Empire, but also has strong feelings on this initiative going forward.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please continue.
So, moving on to the Xuman Overmind. What do you think about regulatory facilitation?
What does that mean? Exactly. What is it? What is it that we're?
The Xuman Overmind. I think it's in their best interest to support this, as it helps the galaxy become a friendlier place.
If that's true, then we're all for it.
Yeah.
I think that sounds great. We also we met this guy already, and we're acquaintances.
Yeah.
And so
Very good acquaintances.
I think we're on board with that.
The Refuge concurs. More facilities must be built for more testing. We approve.
I mean, it's short, sweet, it's concise. I love it. and how about the Antharians? Does this make things prettier?
If it's more workers, it means they'll be putting up more dirt and debris, and they're nasty. The workers are very nasty. So no, they're going to be disgusting, and it's going to ruin the beautification project, so we will vote no.
Our first voice of dissent in the Senate. And finally, last but not least, the newcomers to the galaxy, Team 6. What do you have to say?
The Avarian Alliance is, after a clear talk through over this thing, we will not approve it because we think it will just not lead us to our cause, which is I don't know yet which it is, but I hope we're going to achieve it if we just say no.
Interesting. So we've got a 4-2 here. Thank you very much for attending the first Galactic Council, ladies and gentlemen. Please return to your galactic command centers and continue with the great games. Max, feel free to...
Don't get too attached to this whole voting thing. There'll be no more votes when we return to power.
All hail the Emperor.
Thanks for inviting us.
That certainly was a thing. We had a few voices of dissent, and one of them is actually who I wanted to talk about a little bit because we haven't quite gotten to them. And they have sort of been quietly up in the corner up here. It's the Antharian Republic. How would you... Oh. Dear Mr. Emperor, would you like early access to the pre-alpha game test exclusive of Yog Ventures 5, The Return of Sprap Hell?
Interesting.
Making sure that everyone else can see it, too. If I may, Simas?
Absolutely.
An empire must expand to survive. But what is to be done when the bounds of the galaxy are reached? With nowhere left to grow, the Emperor decided that the only direction to turn was inward, and in order to keep the Empire alive, the progress necessary would be literally astronomical. He approached the Ministry of Research with a vague ultimatum. For untold resources, he demanded wonders. This took form as a planet dedicated almost entirely to the progress of research, and of the many fields, the genetic work proved the most fruitful. Oh dear, and the majority of the money was funneled into these laboratories, some more brutal than others. Those brought to work were often kept ignorant of the true nature of their creations. Their most impactful result was a race of sterile, servile creatures ideal for manual labor, but most famously, the Emperor's impossibly beautiful concubines would come from this planet. These figures became the new standard of beauty, and the nomenclatura of the Empire came to the planet to be utterly transformed. But as time went on, new standards began to evolve, straying further and further from the conventional human form. A new frontier had been discovered, the frontier of beauty. After the hyperlanes fell, the impulse to explore became only stronger. Now that they have been isolated from the rest of the galaxy for over 2 millennia, there's no telling what form they have now taken. So whatever they look like, once was human. And let's take a peek at them, shall we? These are your new humans.
So our Antharian Republic Empire just had a change of leadership. It looks like Burke has left, and the new player Venalis is now playing as the Antharian Republic of Beautification. So now that we have a new leader in charge, it's going to be interesting to see what they may change on the Galactic Community vote, if they decide to change it at all.
Yeah, it's true. I am curious if these new role players will take a different stance, or like, are they going to take it as their chance to shine? Hey, the shape of their empire kind of looks like a human. Look at that. You got the arms. Like that.
A war has been declared.
Oh my.
Wait.
Situation log update.
Imperium is currently invading their AI neighbor, and their AI neighbor does not seem to have the means of defending themselves.
It seems unlikely that they would. The Imperium has spent quite a bit of time building up their fleet. When we last looked at them, they had 1.5K. Now they're at 2.5K, and the most that the space blorb can muster appears to be 1.5K, and those ships are rapidly moving on Hasfur, their capital system. Ooh, and they are coming with armies. Quite a few of them, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They are really taking a hit to their upkeep of their naval of their ships because of their naval capacity issue. Well, it will definitely be worth it in the long run if they manage to take this empire out. So what is their empire war for? Territorial invasion. Interesting.
wanna-
and
they
that's
just wanna
right. Since
grab-
they are a part of the
Oh.
Federation, Max the Catfish, the Imperial Chocolat could actually get involved in this war and assist. I don't know if the Divine Imperium is requiring them to, but they could get involved if they wanted to.
Hostile station.
They have bubbles. That's helping them. That's an extra 550 fleet strength.
Oh, they
right
have
there.
bubbles?
Yeah, I'm following Bubbles.
All right,
She's
I
doing
gotta take
great.
a look at this. Where's Bubbles?
She's having a time and a half.
Ooh, that is bright with all those suns.
It really is.
But I gotta say that the aesthetics of this game, the suns, it looks amazing. Every time I see it.
Used to having one star larger than the other. I'm sorry. One thing I am a little bit worried about for the Divine Imperium is their consumer goods. They are losing them very, very quickly.
But as long as they stay in the positive, even if they have to buy them every month to stay up, that's all that's needed.
And their naval capacity, remember when I was talking about them being able to build anchorages? Yeah, they've got it. Now look at this.
They were
This
at
is-
29
they have a
out of
salvage
21, but now they're at 20 out of 21, so they just lost a lot of ships in that last battle.
You want to know where they got that extra fleet strength? They have bubbles and they have the salvaged cruiser.
Let's see here. Let's take a look at this cruiser.
They
have not added that
from-
cruiser to their normal fleet.
No, well, I mean, you can't if it's too different. Like if we take a peek at what it's got Hyperdrive 2. What other regular ships have?
Hyperdrive,
They only have Hyperdrive 1, so it can't join their fleet. It's okay. It's still following them. It's just fine.
Wow,
So they
now
are
they are
taking
actually
it.
maxed on their minerals. They need to sell some before it overcaps.
What claims do they have? They have claimed the Sagathia system, the Gathrika system. They have not yet claimed Hosfor. They could. They have the influence cost. However, if you make claims on an enemy while you're at war with them, the influence cost is doubled. So they might just
This
be
is
wanting
true.
to do a few wars in rapid succession, one every 10 years, because you cannot declare war on another empire until 10 years after a peace treaty is called. But this war is over, right? Like, we can pretty safely say that. In fact, I think they're spreading out their fleets just to make this quicker. There is a military fleet. The Blorbs were able to retreat some of their forces, and now they're taking out a station, trying to take it back. But I imagine that will be crushed in pretty short order. Although the fleets of the Imperium are getting a mite bit tired. Oh, here we go. Bubbles has joined the fray, as has the salvage cruiser, and they are going to mop up very, very easily. Look at that. Very clean.
I'm trying to understand here. Why is there a circle? If you look at the HHH Corp, their corporate office in the center is different. Is that? So there's the HHH Corp, and then there's the Plebal Trading Consortium in the same territory.
I'm not entirely certain. It must... No?
Oh.
That's an empire. No, oh yeah, they rebelled.
Interesting. No. There's a war going on. Oh yeah, they rebelled, so there's a war going on.
Oh my god. HHH Corp is getting taken over by a rebellion.
Huh. Interesting.
No way. No way. Wait a minute. Where are the planets? Is there...
They have taken all of their planets.
If this war ends, I think that's the end of Health, Happiness, and Haribo.
It likely is. It will be called the Corporate Head Office. Or no, it will be called the Plebal Trading Consortium.
Yep,
well, hello,
the
DJ.
Hello.
DJ, have you taken a look at your precious Health, Happiness, and Haribo Corp?
No.
There was a
an
rebellion,
uprising.
and now they're occupying all of the planets.
Yeah.
I I have no words. My poor Triple H. What happened to corporate headquarters?
They couldn't keep their people happy enough.
Oh my goodness, great.
I'm just gonna go and sit in the corner and make sad noises.
Man, that's gonna be a meme.
Yep, that makes me sad. Right, see you later.
All right.
The Pleebles live on. They're doing
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
in
the
fact,
people still exist. It's just now they're under new leadership.
Exactly. And in fact, they have a rather large fleet, but they actually they have low stability.
Yeah, they might end up with their own civil war again. just perpetual.
Please. Please. Oh my god. Please.
That would be amazing.
Please.
Endless civil war.
I want them to stick around. I hope that the Empire doesn't like glom them in.
Just quarantines them off and let them keep doing what they're doing.
So they can just keep rebelling over and over again. I was not expecting this. Oh, you know, I didn't think, like, I knew that all of the player interactions were going to be really good and really entertaining. I wasn't expecting this.
I would like to interject here that it looks like Stefan, the human Overmind, has unlocked the technology for wormhole travel. They are the first empire, I believe, to get that technology, which gives them an immense bonus or boon over everyone else. But they currently don't have any wormholes, any natural wormholes in their vicinity. They have to go into other empires' territory. Actually, no, I'm wrong. They have one in the back, the very back of their territory. But it's got mining corps and the Tyanki space whale in there too. Where does that lead? That leads near to the doorstep of the Imperium.
Oh.
This is going to be very interesting if he decides to invade that portion of the... Oh, well, he's supposed to be friendly with everyone. So I don't think he's actually going to be able to utilize that as much as he would like to.
Probably not. They have literally zero military. They still have those completely empty corvettes.
They will likely sit here until they decide to do something else, and yeah, they're just going to keep building up their technology.
Great. It is a bit disappointing that they're not going to be able to do anything about the Ether Drake for a while. But
yeah.
They do have... Okay, so the mineral... They have a few different things that they could take with a solid military. The question is, will they allow themselves to have enough of a military to do this? I suppose it's not that much of a deal right now. Oh my god! There's an Ether Drake in Ublion, but we totally missed the automated dreadnought in Ripigar, toward the northeast of their territory.
That's true. We haven't been looking around. I did find the dimensional horror that was up in the top left part in the Zarakian black hole. That is in the territory of what was it? The Antharian Republic. There's a little gap in their top left territory that they have not taken yet.
There you are.
It's got 2 dark matter in there, which they won't be able to touch for a long time. Granted, they don't even have the technology yet for their the dark matter.
Oh, those ribs on the dimensional horror are quite visually pleasurable. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Now, so one of the great things about having the dimensional horror nearby is if you can manage to take it out, you get progress towards jump drives, and you can get that much earlier than pretty much everyone else. The question is, are they going to take advantage of that? They still have how are they gearing their economy? Let's take a look at the Antharian Republic. Again, we just keep sort of pushing them to the side, but they could, like, especially with their proximity to the Imperium, they are going to be an important empire to look at to see how they are going to interact with the Imperium and what the Imperium strategy is going to be. Are they going to try to bring them into the hegemony immediately? Are they just going to try to vassalize them? Because I think that you can still vassalize when you're in a hegemony, correct?
I know that in some federations you still can.
You can. All right, so people
know.
are saying in chat, we have at least one person saying you can.
We got one person, it's confirmed.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, Bet is doing really good with his population growth. He has got quite a number of planets. Oh, that's right. Did he not?
Situation log.
Oh, that's right. He's machines. Well, of course, then he's doing well with his population growth. And now he's also growing. He's also got humanoids since he has the bio trophies.
Yep.
He is making a lot of Unity right now. How much is he making compared to all the other players?
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, I'll stick with what you're looking at.
Stefan aside, we're not going to count him towards any sort of, comparison.
Oh my god,
Stefan is
Unity.
making an insane amount. Now, granted, he has the Memorialist, which is an incredibly powerful boon for trying to get the Unity. In fact, I have done a couple of attempts where I've done a Unity run. Instead of doing a science rush or a military rush or expansion rush, I have tried a Unity rush, and it starts out really strong, but you can't really defend yourself if somebody wants to do something against you because you have neither military force or technology at your disposal. So if you start as the Scions, with the Scion start, where you have a fallen empire protecting you, you could potentially do that, where you can rush certain ascension perks, including an ascension perk which we have not discussed yet, which is the Become the Crisis. I am going to be very interested to see which of our players chooses this first. Now, more than one player can choose the Become the Crisis, but only certain types of empires can actually become the Crisis. So far, we have Stefan capable of becoming the Crisis. We have, I believe, A-Spec able to become the Crisis. Let's see here. Who else do we have able to become the Crisis?
Rogue servitors may not.
Situation log.
The Refuge cannot. The Chocolatiers, it does not, like they can either. The Avarians, let's see here. The Avarians could become the Crisis. And the Antharian Republic, let's see here. Yes, they could. So,
no, they couldn't.
No, they cannot. That's right. They are fanatic xenophile. So we've got 3 potential empires that could become the Crisis. I wonder which one it's going to be, or how many there might be. Since all 3 can become the Crisis, we might even have all 3.
That would be terrifying, to say the least.
Once a player has decided to become the Crisis, nobody else knows that yet. Well, there are ways that you can find out, but
you got to be looking.
Naturally, people don't know that. Once the Galactic Community realizes it, they will be able to, under their resolutions, choose somebody to essentially be the champion of the galaxy to defend themselves against a crisis. And I'm curious to see who that might be.
Yeah,
we have Stefan, whose goal is to be the friends of everyone. They might be the champion. They might be the ones to defend everybody. He's got 10 planets so far.
Goodness gracious, 10.
10 planets. I wonder if he has the most so far.
He is stacked. No, easily. That would explain why he has so many pops, even though you have some other starts that theoretically should give you more. Now it's
like our robotic empire being beaten out. Usually robots always have the most amount of population, hive minds being the close second, but that is a large number of planets that he has.
How has he gotten so many planets? It looks like he's just colonized them without regard to the habitability. I guess it's still just worth it.
Looks like we have a war. So it looks like Refuge, who was at war with Arrakis, is now in a different war with the Friendship Committee. He's making his way towards their homeworld, currently in the Astartes system. I wonder what he has claimed. Well, let's see what the war is for right now. Annexation attempt. Okay.
Oh. So probably looking to eventually integrate them.
Most likely. I wonder
That makes
what
sense.
so he has a fleet strength of 3,200. Let's take a look at the AI. Let's see here. 1,300. So he's got a good 2,000 more fleet power.
Yeah, easy. Easy,
so
easy.
he's going to have this hands down. However, it looks like the Refuge just... Oh, no. Sorry. My apologies. I was looking at the wrong empire, so it was red. Yeah, as long as he makes sure that the Friendship Committee does not get past him, he should be able to just completely wipe out their armies and take their systems. Now, he still has to get all the way back to their homeworld in order to actually win this war. Whenever you're trying to vassalize someone, the war goal requirement is usually very high. So anytime you have 1 or 2 systems that you're claiming and you're just doing a claiming war, you only have to get those few systems and bring up the war exhaustion by a little bit in order to either wipe peace or succeed in that battle. I mean, in that war. But in order to completely vassalize another empire, you have to pretty much take everything from them.
Yes.
Before they give up.
Yes. It's because they're fighting for their autonomy.
We haven't had any major conflict between 2-player empires yet. But as the time passes and as we get closer and closer towards mid-game, which is going to be in the next 50 years, we're going to start seeing some headbutting between these players. I almost guarantee it.
Absolutely. And I think that something like we should definitely be looking at the strength of the empires right now, because however strong they are right now, it's very easy to snowball out from this point. And right now, the Avarian Alliance and the Antharian Republic of Beautification are both lagging a little bit behind. If we actually, we can look at their diplomatic strength, they're about the same, whereas the other human players are anywhere between 1k and about 2k diplomatic power. They're sitting down at about 650 between them. And if we look at their overall strength of their empires, you can see that they are lagging significantly behind. While the score is not all-encompassing, it is a good way to get a general feeling. I am interested, however, in the fact that the Imperial Chocolat Covenant are struggling a little bit to catch up, but I think once they're able to link up with the Divine Imperium and start adding those branch offices, they're going to be in a slightly better place. Although a war was just initiated against the blob commonality. Yep, the Divine Imperium is just going to finish mopping up those boys.
Yes, they are. And by the way, I wanted to go back after I recover this topic. About an hour ago, I had made mention that the Moby Dick anti-eco-politic territory and the Chocolatiers are currently having open borders, and if the Chocolatiers did not close their borders or claim those territories, then the AI would jump over them.
And that is exactly
I'm looking at
what
their
they
borders,
did.
and that is exactly what happened. In fact, not only just 1, but they took 2 of their territories. So it's going to be difficult for the Chocolatiers to take that territory back without some form of conflict, which I'm sure the Imperium would be more than happy to help them. But of course, the Imperium isn't necessarily going to want any vassals of theirs or future vassals to get too much more power.
Right. And right now, you can see that the diplomatic relations between the Imperial Chocolat Covenant and the Anti-Eco-Politique are souring, to say the least. Borders have been closed, and I imagine that these 2 systems will be contested in the very near future. In fact, if we look at the claims, there are already claims
That's
those
exactly what I was going to
systems.
say. There are already claims made on the systems that they originally owned and the systems that they want to own.
A little behind the scenes information for you on this particular situation. The Chocolat Covenant has just requested propaganda that suggests that the Moby Dick anti-eco-politic are trying to overthrow the Emperor.
Oh, how could they?
Yep.
How
So
very dare they?
I believe you might be right that war might be on the horizon, considering they're literally requesting anti-propaganda. So, yep.
Let's see if they have any of their envoys currently in the politic currently.
Well, they removed any support for sure. And
Actually,
no espionage yet.
The Chocolate Covenant does have one of their members doing espionage, but it's not in their neighbor. They're currently espionaging the human Overmind. Sorry,
the Xuman. Yeah, the Xumans.
Overmind.
Yep. One thing that I respect about the Imperial Chocolat Covenant, when they speak honestly. Like, if I'm going to get screwed over by a corporation, I want them to at least be honest about it. That's what I appreciate about the Imperial Chocolat Covenant.
Let's go back to that war.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Let's see how it's going. I mean, I have an idea of how it is going. But let's see how
we also have a
quickly.
new Senate thing going onto the floor. We have... Oh, hold on. Did it just change?
Pan-Galactic Recycling Initiatives. The last one, what was it? Buzzword Standardization. Definitely passed. This one is much more contested. We have 2 human empires abstaining, 2 supporting, and we have 2 opponents. Let's get DJ's attention, because we are definitely going to have to meet about this.
What do you have to say?
I renew my objections to the entire concept of the Galactic Community. Everyone gets a vote? What is this? But if we're going to indulge this little sideshow, I must say that recycling is for suckers. So what if we ruin a planet? It's not like we only have one. So no, recycling? No. Such foolishness.
So, moving on to the Xuman Overmind. What say you about recycling?
I think we're generally pro. I mean, I don't want to step on any toes or anything, but like we're like, we recycle a lot of our own stuff, including our own bodies most of the time. We've been told we've started a Flesh Planet initiative, where we're recycling our physical forms into just planets to like save space. Ironically, so I think definitely pro recycling. Any amount of.
I'd like to chime in if for the Xuman's consideration, and all hail the Emperor. But would it not be a friendlier tactic in order to let each empire determine their own policies, as opposed to imposing a single policy on all empires full of different people and different species? I know the Xuman Overminds have their own great traditions, but here in the Imperial Chocolate Covenant, we have different ones. So why impose that on us if you don't have to?
Well, I mean, I think that's a fair point. I just think if we go with the recycling route, then over time, it'll help protect the lands and the spaces that everybody lives in, and I think probably does better good for the galaxy at large.
Well, we've discovered a lot of information about a shrouded world I'd be happy to share with you, but first we need to make sure that this motion doesn't go through, because it's in the best interest of the ICC, and every empire can figure it out for themselves. So, like, I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, but in the future, just an aside.
Okay, no, that's fair. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, okay. So that we'll change our thing then. We can do everybody can do kind of what they want, and then we'll talk to you after this to figure out that's fine.
All right.
We're not super attached to the material world, honestly. I just wanted to sound fair.
So, moving on.
The Imperial Chocolate Covenant recognizes the divine supremacy of the Emperor, while also acknowledges that in order for the Emperor to better serve the galaxy, all empires must develop their economies how they see fit, both by establishing trade offices with the well-experienced Imperial Chocolat Covenant. We're open to relations with all empires, as well as abandoning this galaxy-wide initiative that affects far too many people to potentially be beneficial to them. Everyone should figure out their own policies and not intrude on those of other empires in this galactic community. Thank you. We oppose the motion.
Okay. So, moving on to the Refuge. What say you?
Oh, well, the Refuge have no strong feelings on this Galactic Council issue. We obviously recycle everything in our empire, especially anything that comes out of our bio trophies. We make sure that gets heavily recycled and reintroduced back into their systems. So we see the value in that. But we heard that there were bribes going around. So yeah, we'd like to get in on that. We can vote no if we can be paid and benefit from that, or we could vote yes. If no one,
the ICC is happy to offer a generous trade agreement.
Well, we are very interested in trade agreements. So you just let us know how you would like this to go down, and we will support you.
We'll be in touch.
Perfect.
Galactic politics at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
At least they're honest. It's refreshing.
Moving on to the Antharian Beautification.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Birch. I just took over from my dad. He fell asleep. He got a little tired. Somebody forgot to water him, but he's fine. Don't worry about him. It's actually a beautiful topic to talk about, actually, you know, with the whole recycling, compost, and stuff like that, because that's kind of what he is right now. He's not looking too good. But anyways, recycling and all that sorts of stuff is not a bad thing to kind of happen, I feel. You know, sometimes you gotta die, you gotta get reborn. Oh wait, is this talking about like recycling plastics or organic materials? Because we're kind of playing
A bit of everything.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, I believe in recycling the dead. By the way, it might not mean much to you guys, but when we pass away, obviously we turn into compost. We bring life anew. You know, we inherit certain traits and stuff like that. We'd actually be okay if we took over. Maybe like if you have some spare bodies that you're not going to use for compost, we'll use them.
I think your words are disgusting, but your voice is angelic.
Oh, thank you. I got it from my daddy. Have you guys been on that new app, Timber?
Oh my gosh.
What?
So moving on to teams. Moving on. I apologize to the Antharian Alliance.
Oh, all right.
What say you?
Yeah, I really have to say the chocolate guys have a good point. But since I absolutely don't care for materialistic things, I don't see why I should share my positive opinion on the recycling part. So I'm definitely going to say no, because we live with greater things than just having materialistic things in our lives. So, and our people should honor that point too, I guess.
Fair enough. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that there might be some talks to be done behind the scenes in the aftermath of this, so go away and do that. Thank you very much for joining us here in the council. Please do have a lovely, lovely day, and return to your galactic command centers and continue on.
Democracy is a sham!